one guy who can pick out a moron from a mile away because he's always on the streets. He's run for New York City public advocate and big community activist. Now he's a candidate for New York State Senate. Dan Christmann joins me right now. Hello, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Grinding, working hard, man. Thanks for having me on, John. I appreciate it.
Hey, pal, listen, I love getting candidates out there who are renegades, who are outsiders. You got to try to give them as much exposure as possible. You know what's funny, Dan? Way back like a year ago, one of my friends said, hey, we're trying to, everybody's talking about president and Senate, and we're trying to get 8 Congress seats. We're focusing in on 8 congressional seats. And one of them was this, I think it's Georgia 15, this lady, Marjorie Greene. See this woman, Marjorie Greene? She was like a way outsider. She's a, businesswoman, housewife, mom, gun owner, all this other stuff, right? And I started putting her on, and Frankie kept booking her and say, hey, she's got some good points of view. She's a nice-looking lady. And lo and behold, she passed everybody. She just won the thing. Now they're calling her the QAnon candidate.
Yeah, I mean, I would just call me like the real people's candidate. I was, John, my brother left. I was ready to leave, and I was just like, I can't leave, man. I can't leave without a fight. And the person I decided to run against is Julia Salazar. She is the leader of the DSA, where maybe the whole world is absorbed by what AOC says. AOC is a straight-on American-loving conservative compared to her. What's that? We really need to take the fight to her.
So, Danny, let me ask you this. I want to talk about your race and all the craziness going on here in New York, but, you're an independent guy. You're objective, certainly outspoken. I want you to take a look at this clip of Joe Biden from yesterday, because now they realize things happening, so they're scuffling him out of the hole. Take a look at this clip. Tell me what you think about this man's capability to be president.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it, more lives this year than any other year for the past 100 years.
If we were sitting there, if we were all sitting around the dinner table and that was like Uncle Tony over there and he was going through that sentence, we'd just let him finish and say, yeah, poor Uncle Tony, he's losing it. You know what I mean? Can't even stay on a sentence. I think he was trying to start talking about how many lives were lost, and then it turned out to how this many lives haven't been lost in 100 years. It was a total dementia moment.
Well, this whole thing's a total dementia moment. The CDC's changing their numbers all over the place. I mean, the whole thing is completely backwards. They're putting testing sites in the middle of NYCHA facilities where people live. How about this?
If you guys aren't going to get enough COVID, we're going to bring that COVID to you. We're gonna bring all them COVID positive folks over here. Nursing homes, we only got 40% of them with the nursing homes. Let's bring the COVID patients over to the New York City Housing Authority. That's good.
I mean, this is the best way to sum up the way the government took care of us with COVID, right? If you went to the hospital, you got $13,000. If you died at the hospital got $40,000. The hospital should get $40,000 if you didn't die at the hospital, not if you did.
Yeah, right. The old reward system. Hey, you're doing good. You saved them. Here's 40 grand. Oh, they died. You did nothing for them. Here's 13. No, but that's Dan. Today is literally National No Rhyme or Reason Day. That's what we said. How it is a national day for everything now. Today is No Rhyme or Reason Day. There is no rhyme or reason to what's happening to us when the protesters are protesting against Donald Trump, saying he's a racist. And they're all supporters of Bernie Sanders and Antifa and Act Blue. They all give all their money to Joe Biden and the cause. So they're his rioters. And now he's trying to say you're going to be unsafe in Trump's America. They're making it unsafe.
They are driving us to it. They are trying to take over the country. They got us by the short hairs, and we are worried about the immediate steps that we need to take. And they're important, but I'm looking down the road, like, how the catcher is supposed to back up the first baseman on every play, on every hit? Like, that's what I'm trying to do, because I see a real problem with housing, John. They're going to start kicking people out. And are we actually going to maintain the existing mortgages?
I don't know.
And these absurd profits and absurd rents? Are we really going to ask people for this stuff?
Dan, I've been alcohol-free all day yesterday on Monday, but I'm getting so worked up over this Joe Biden that I got to start my liquid lunch. You're not drinking anymore, right?
No.
All right. Well, pardon me, but I'm gonna have one
I can't blame you.
as we continue. Tell me, here in New York, I mean, we have basically one-party rule from Albany right down to New York City. How can you possibly break the mold with your candidacy and get in there and make some noise?
Well, it's really simple. Being a one-party town, made the Democrats vulnerable, because now the head of the DSA is our state senator in my district. So there's plenty of moderate Democrats, plenty of independents, plenty of Republicans even, that would much rather vote for an independent, humanist versus somebody that just basically wants her banker friends to build all the affordable housing units in the whole city so she can make money for the rest of her life. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer.
It's absolutely crazy what's going on. I love having a guy like you out there, because sometimes you used to get a little too crazy where you gotta bring the noise to get attention to the cause, but then sometimes you would go too far. Now I see you're out there with the people, you're shaking hands, you it seems like you're onto something. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm working hard, man. And I'm not even trying to make any enemies. I have a premise.
Well, that's a new development for you.
Yeah. What good is that going to do for us? We need to communicate more. And one of the things I'd really like to do is right here in my neighborhood, a NYCHA facility transferred over to Section 8. So somebody bought the whole entire NYCHA facility, and now this one rich guy is getting every person's rent check in that facility. The people living there got absolutely nothing, and they're still living under income restrictions.
Wow.
Lift the income restrictions off these people. Give these people the deeds. We'll pay for maintenance. And now they own property, and they have no maintenance restrictions, and they can take advantage of what New York City has to offer.
You know what? I would
paying for this.
I'm not a big part of the whole reparations crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really believe that, each generation proceeds on the last. If I believed in reparations, then I'm Irish and Italian. Both Irish and Italian people should get reparations, because there was a time when they were not allowed to compete for government jobs at all because they were Irish or Italian. So that's pretty scary. But I would say, if you give every person who lives in public housing for a certain amount of time and they've been a good candidate, and you give them a piece of property, that is how, under, like third world nations, they become civilized. You know when? When they start deeding property, when there are actually lines and say, this belongs to you, and then someone cares about cutting the grass in front of their house, and someone cares about fixing the broken gate because it's theirs, and they know it exists. And I think that would be a step in the right direction for civilization overall, to increase people's responsibility, and they feel like they own something. Then they do. They're a homeowner. I
100% agree. I mean, this will solve our poverty, crime.
How many people are in New York? I know you it's a national show. We're talking about a New York issue, but this is facing everywhere. How many people in New York in public housing?
In NYCHA alone, it's 600,000. On Section 8, it's about 120,000, but there's also other programs, and I would say about a quarter of the city gets some sort of a rent subsidy.
Damn.
A huge amount.
All right. Well, we got to keep our eye on Dan's candidacy, because we need more guys like him in there. He was out at the rally with me, Frank, Scotty, and supporting us, and I like to return the favor. God bless you, my friend. I'll see you soon. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
That's Dan Christmann, candidate for New York State Senate right here in New York.